Thanks for tuning back in for a video on our Frontier build series here at LOJ. On the last episode, you saw that we got the rear subframe brackets designed and welded into the frame to bolt the Armada rear subframe into the Frontier chassis. In this video, we're now going to make the truck a roller again by permanently bolting that subframe in and then getting the rear suspension assembled enough so that we can get this truck rolling around. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to pull the cab off of the frame now so we can start attacking the drive line and all the front suspension parts. So in the front suspension, the Titans, Armadas, Frontiers, Xteras, all the Nissan trucks of that era essentially share the same mounting points for the front control arms, upper and lower, the steering rack, differential, all that. The difference being the Titan and Armada have bigger diffs and axles than the smaller trucks, and the Titans and Armadas have longer control arms than the smaller trucks to suit the wider track of the larger bodies. So what we're going to do to make our track width match front and rear is install all Armada stuff on the front end of this truck as well. So that's upper and lower control arms, spindles, brakes, wheel bearings, and our Frontier was a two-wheel drive truck, and we're converting to four-wheel drive / all-wheel drive to allow our all-wheel drive setup to work. So Nissan made it really easy to do a two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive conversion on these trucks. One of the three mounting points for the front differential is on every truck's frame, whether it was two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. And the other two mounting points, you can buy the brackets right from Nissan. They're stamped steel. And so if you bolt one position of the differential in and put the other two brackets on the diff, they kind of locate themselves on the spots on the frame and you just weld them in place. So it's really easy in that regard to convert to four-wheel drive. We're going to be using the Armada stuff, and it's the later Armada stuff, so it's the stronger front differential and axles. We're going to pull the actual stock V6 engine and trans off the chassis, clean the chassis, start doing prep work, likely paint it, and hopefully, if we have time, get the engine and trans, the LS engine and the all-wheel drive TR6060 setup we have mocked up into the chassis. We know the engine will fit using our swap motor mounts. What we don't know is what oil pan we're going to run with the larger Armada diff, and the fact that we're going to mount the engine in the rear mount position with our motor mounts rather than the forward mount position. We also don't know where the transmission mount is going to land in the frame, obviously because it's a TR6060. It's not a stock transmission that came in this truck. So we got some stuff to figure out. We're going to get that mocked up, and that's the goal for today. I hope we get all that stuff accomplished. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, so today was a very, what's the word for that? Accomplished day? Productive day, that's the word, Jay. Today was a very productive day. We did get the chassis separated from the body. We got the cab pulled off this truck. We were able to get the engine and trans ripped out. We were able to get all the front suspension off. It fought us. It seems like every Nissan truck that I ever deal with, and most cars, when those eccentric bolts seize into the bushings, it's pretty much a nightmare trying to get them out, but we got those cut out. We got all the Frontier suspension ripped off this thing. We got the engine and trans out. We got the frame cleaned and painted. Looks really good. We mocked up the engine and trans on there. We did figure out that the transmission mount position on our transfer case adapter is a little too far back to work with the stock cross member. But the stock trans cross member on these trucks, it's like a K-brace. It's integral into the strength of the frame, so it's not something we want to cut out and relocate. We're going to build a bracket off the back to make that work. We've also got to get some new hardware for the control arms because like I said, they fought us. We had to cut them out. But all in all, it's looking really good. So thanks so much for tuning in. On the next video, we're going to try to get an oil pan installed in this motor that'll fit with that diff. We got to weld in some bungs for the returns for turbos, all sorts of stuff like that, and try to get the engine and trans mounted in the chassis for the last time. We also want to get that whole front suspension reassembled in the next video too. So thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. Again, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and it's really important that you subscribe and hit the notification button. We only release one video a week, so in order for those to pop up, you really got to hit the notification bell. But we appreciate you tuning in so much. Thanks, and take care.